Hey yo, it's Vondo, and with this weekend passing, we've also had another Call of Duty launch, and this time it being Call of Duty Vanguard, launched on November 5th. And, you know, I have to say launch weekend went pretty good for Sledgehammer, and I had to give them kudos, even though this is the bare minimum when it comes to these games. This game actually has an ample amount of launch content for once in a Call of Duty title. So, kudos to Sledgehammer for actually doing that. I believe there's around, 14, 16 multiplayer maps. I believe I played all of them. I've only played some of these maps like maybe once, maybe twice, and I haven't learned all the maps yet. I can only confidently say I have learned one map, and it is Das House. Actually, Das House and Dome, but those are the two meat grinder maps for grinders. You know, the shoot house and shipment equivalents, because you know they're very small and chaotic. So I really can't say I've learned any of these actual maps yet. You know, maps that weren't included in the beta, because we have Eagle's Nest gameplay on in the background. But yeah, those only two maps I've learned. They have a decent amount of launch content for once, so again, kudos to Sledgehammer for doing that, because it's been a while since the Call of Duty game has launched that has, you know, a sufficient amount of launch content, and they delivered right there. Now when it comes to the actual map quality, I'm not going to say all these maps are bad, 'cause I don't think so. There's only two maps that I dislike. Well, mainly just one. I really dislike sub-pins currently. Just don't like the way the map flows. I don't like how the way the B flag is, how that side of the map isn't utilized at all. You know, they got some weird stuff you can fall off and die with. And you know, you got the room with the windows overlooking, you know, the submarines that get really crowded and chaotic. I just don't like that map. I don't like it. Hardpoint, I like in domination. When it comes to the other maps, I'd say that, you know, they're alright currently or good, but I just haven't played everything yet enough to, you know, get my final verdict on the map. So yeah, that's a map I don't like already, and yeah, that's a map I've played more than a few times. So yeah, I know that's a map I'm not gonna like. But when it comes to the majority of the maps, I have to say they've done a decent job. Now when it comes to visibility in these maps, oh, it's not good at all. It's not good at all. Whether it's, you know, a medium-sized map like Eagle's Nest, a larger map like Subpins, or a small map like Dome or Das House, visibility isn't good on any of these maps. Also, spawns are god-awful. In every map and in every pacing, spawns are not good. It won't be as bad as 6v6 Tactical if you're playing on a map like Eagle's Nest, but every other map, yeah, spawns, they're not good. They're not good. And they're not going to be good at all. Well, I think they'll get better, you know, 4 or 5 months in. But I don't think there's going to be a way for them, you know, to get good spawns, consistently good spawns with the blitz combat pacing on maps like Hotel Royale. I just don't see it happening. Because they had the beta, you know, and they had data collect from that when it comes to Hotel Royale, and the maps, not the maps, the spawns on that map still aren't good. So maybe they'll be better with a few more weeks and months of data, but I just don't see it. I don't see it, and that's my main issue with combat pacing, is that the maps, not the maps, the spawns on these maps won't be good for a long time. They should be able to get good spawns with tactical and assault pacing, but when it comes to blitz, I don't think they have good spawns and not combat pacing at all throughout the entire year. Hate to see it, but yeah, I think that's gonna happen. And another thing when it comes to combat pacing, it is a mere preference on what you actually select. You want to play tactical domination? Well, maybe you'll play it. If you want to play the tactical combat pacing in general, maybe you'll get that. Maybe not. That's just how it is. And vice versa when it comes to blitz or assault. It just picks the game mode you have selected and throws you into a match. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that, because if you really want to get into some 6v6 multiplayer, and you just select tactical combat pacing, and it throws you in, you know, blitz domination, yeah, it's pretty annoying. I don't know why they've done that, but I'm going to assume it's because they have, being that they got, you know, a decent amount of maps, and, you know, a couple of game modes, on top of the 3 combat pacings, yeah, it could get really hairy when it comes to finding you a match, you know, really quickly. So I believe that's why they merge them all in, just for the sake of having faster queue times. But I don't know why it doesn't actually work. Or if it's going to be a mere suggestion, they should at least let you know that, you know, they will try to find a match with your desired combat pacing, but if they don't, they just throw into another one. I feel like a heads up would be, you know, necessary or better. But it's Sledgehammer. Will that get fixed? Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to go with maybe not, because it was like that in the beta, and that's something they probably won't change because there's no reason for them to change it. You know, looking at Sledgehammer's point of view, like, well, why would we change it? It'll make queue times even slower. And when it comes to other things from the beta, the audio, while it is improved, it's still not good. Like, there's still some muffled sounds here and there, the localization not being the best. They've also still have the removed EQ settings, you know, from the alpha, with, you know, the bass high, the boost low. Yeah, those haven't returned yet, which is odd. So I'm going to guess they're having more difficulties when it comes to, you know, getting the mixing right for those, or just don't feel like they're necessary. But I think it's weird how they only have, you know, 4 bass EQ settings when they typically have, you know, 6, 7. So we'll see if that gets fixed. Again, maybe not. If it does, I think they'll get it fixed by like January. When it comes to, you know, having the extensive EQ settings, when it comes to other settings like having the FOV slider works fine. They don't have any performance issues. They have extra HUD elements you could add, you know, for your latency and packet loss. Additionally, they have some graphical settings when it comes to fidelity. When it comes to on-demand texture streaming, I recommend turning that off because I heard players say that it can improve their latency, and while they had a lot of packet loss to turn that off, it got better. It didn't do anything for me, unfortunately, so I just left it off. And if you have like data limits with your ISP, I recommend turning it off as well. Lastly, there is a bunch of vehicle sensitivity settings and sensitivity settings for different zoom levels, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the high zoom is 6, 7, and 8. I've tweaked a few of those, haven't tweaked all of them. Like, I've only messed with a couple of them due to me using, you know, the red dot sights and me using the sniper rifle here and there. But let's get into actual gameplay now. When it comes to gameplay balance, the best guns in the game currently are the SCG-44 and the MP40, which isn't any surprise at all, you know, based on what we've seen from the beta. However, I do think other guns will rise up eventually. You know, it's just folks are using, you know, good guns they already have access to, and it takes quite a while to level these guns up. Like the SCG-44's max level is 70, and I just got that done today. And I haven't even prestiged yet. I've only been using 3 to 4 guns. I've used the SCG-44, the MP40, a sniper rifle, and a shotgun for some challenges. So haven't used all those guns, and I've only maxed out the SCG-44. I've only used 4 guns, I've only maxed out 1 of them. So it takes quite a while to level up your guns in this game. So it's not going to shock me that people are going to use, you know, things that actually work well for them to start off with, and, you know, they, you know, accessible. But I do think other guns will, you know, eventually rise up and be, you know, the metal weapons like the Automaton, the PPSH, the Thompson, what else, the MG42. Like, I don't know, but we'll find out eventually as more guns are, you know, exploited and, you know, leveled up as the game progresses. When it comes to, you know, my big concerns with gameplay balance currently, it is, well, one, this isn't even balanced. Could this be balanced? Well, I'll just say it's balanced. They have a little bit of bloom when you ADS, and if you haven't checked out Exclusive Ace video about it, very good video. But yeah, for some reason there is a bit of bloom when you aim down sight, and it's, you know, for your attachments and, you know, the stats when building a class setup, it's the accuracy. So there's a little bit of bloom, which I don't understand why it's in the game. I feel like that is something to be, you know, more favorable to lower skilled players, and it's in the game for some odd reason. Same thing can be said with the spawns as well, with the spawns not being good at all. I feel like those, you know, favor lower skilled players when it comes to getting cheap kills, and I just don't like bad spawns in games at all. Biggest pet peeve of mine. I just don't like players getting cheap kills or cheap deaths due to them being spawned in front of or behind an enemy. It doesn't make much sense to me. And big gameplay issue right now though is vital, because the headshot multiplier in this game is pretty insane. And with vital, increase your critical hit area, which, you know, headshots, so that upper torso starts dealing headshot damage, which, you know, drastically improves your gun's time to kill, especially with the SCG-44. So it comes a 3-shot kill. No, it goes from being a 4-shot kill to a 3-shot kill, and you mix in some more headshots within there. You know, you can really start deleting people, because the game's time to kill is fast overall. So, not the biggest fan of the bloom when, you know, aiming down sights and firing. Then you have the vital proficiency with weapons, and all it does is increase the critical hit area for your gun, so you start getting headshot damage when you start aiming in the upper torso, I believe. which is, you know, insane because the headshot multiplier is already pretty high in this game. You might as well just actually award this skill for players aiming in the head and taking that extra risk when it comes to missing shots, and giving them, you know, the headshot multiplier and the extra headshot damage that way. But Vital makes it a lot easier to, you know, decrease your weapon's time to kill. So I believe that will be one of the first things adjusted. Hopefully it's adjusted all across the board with the guns that have it, so headshots don't get too insane, because the headshot multiplier, it is high and the time to kill in this game is fast in general. So that's why it feels like, you know, you look at someone and they blink and you're deleted. But those are my only real concerns with gameplay balance right now. I'll find out more later. When it comes to the little destructible environments, they can be annoying at times when I'm trying to run through them and like it just doesn't run through them. I have to stop, shoot it, or, you know, hit it with the melee weapon a couple of times. But they're not too big of a deal. They just be a bit annoying at times, I'm not gonna lie. But that's all I got for the launch weekend of Call of Duty Vanguard. When it comes to me playing the game, I am enjoying myself, but I have played with friends throughout the weekend. I've only had a couple of solo sessions, and I did have fun with those solo sessions as well, but just a quick disclaimer when it came to me playing the game. But we'll wait and see what the patches and updates for this game, you know, brings to the future. And without the way, ladies and gentlemen, y'all stay safe, and
all that,
I'm out.
y'all were in the hard point.